Out of form as my money now acquired by the back Ghanatube sort of four Sisi Amene Okasano John Dramani Mahama this 7 Supreme Court judges now de bano Sisi Amene Okasani Yachiba who's here breaking news case here Babeto Jan say John Dramani Mahama this 7 Supreme Court judges now this year no or the abani Yachiba who enimia out of one yenti ayacheno no out of four Mestre se ubedi mechi ne akọ Ghanatube ni akwakoje san se mu nyina nchi but for man ko na yenko tie nyenti a yachi aye John Dramani Mahama na akasa di Supreme Court judge baako tisia enimeni mi out for man ko na yenko san se mu nyina nchi mu mbadisia
has vetted 6 out of 7 nominees to the Supreme Court with the spotlight firmly on competence, character and constitutional clarity. The process, marked by sharp exchanges and occasional light moments, saw Justices Senyo Jamafet, Dennis Dominic J, Gabriel Simon Subare, Philip Bright Mensah, Janapari Battles Kojo and Hafisata Amalboba answering a wide range of questions on law, ethics and national interest. However, the vetting of Justice Kweku Teria Akabuafo was postponed following a petition challenging his nomination. Well, we'll get into that shortly. James Aveji has a wrap of yesterday's processes.
The first disagreement between Minority Leader Alexander Penyumakin and Chairman Bernard Ahiafo came up when the chairman admitted a follow-up question from Majority Leader Mahama Yariga on Penyumakin's probe as to whether or not there was wrongdoing when President John Mahama imposed salary restrictions on appointees who violated his earlier April 17 deadline for declaring their assets.
Chairman, this strategy by the majority, that they have their time. When it gets to my time, then they have follow-up. Anyway, I will yield to you. If you, Chairman, would want to allow these things, no problem. Follow up, and if you think that you will be distracting me, I don't.
Honourable members, I believe everybody must be treated equally, particularly the leaders. There are instances where the minority leader called for a follow-up question. He's been granted the floor to ask a follow-up question.
The ranking member again registered his protest when Bernard Ahiafo insisted that the nominee should not answer a question to the same matter which he believed was answered earlier. The two grew furious, with the chairman insisting that he cannot be intimidated by the posture of his ranking.
I cannot be intimidated by you. I'm a man with indomitable spirit. I still rule that the question has been asked. The nominee will not answer this question again. Pose another question.
Finally, the committee made headway as a nominee, Justice Hafisata Amaliboba, established that there is a void created by the Constitution when it failed to provide specific sanctions for failure to declare assets within a specific period.
Honourable Chair, as has been stated, that there is no punishment regime, then what it would mean is that there's a lacuna in the law, and that must be addressed. It would need some deliberation on how this should proceed. For instance, presently we have the Constitutional Review Committee sitting. So if proposals are made to it on how to proceed, it can compile these proposals for the necessary action to be taken.
On other matters, she disagreed with assertions that Chief Justices influence the outcome of cases through the choice of justices they empaneled for some particular cases.
I believe that in the empaneling of judges, the Chief Justice performs an administrative function. Now, this administrative function is a function that has been given her by the Constitution. And I do not believe that it would or should influence the kind of decisions taken on the bench, because the Supreme Court justices of the bench are experienced, independent-minded jurists who should be able to take independent decisions.
The committee rose without vetting the final nominee Justice Kweku Tewia Akabuafo, even though he was scheduled for Wednesday, June 18. It is unclear when that vetting will be done. James Aveji, Parliament House, Accra.
And joining us in this conversation is lawyer AJ Bafwewa. He was on the committee yesterday and also a member of the Constitutional.
Other from what in seminar course so our vetting room they say yes Justice Kweku Akabuafo just the see amena okasa no ya file petition kese pan dia ko editia no and the see an on the vetting no amaso ye postpone on the vetting because ya file petition kese pan di tia obi a wo ko vetting na see then ya file petition kese editia the see amena okasa no John Dramani Mahama ne 7 Supreme Court judges na order ko bench on no the see anu ya chi ba ko dendende amena okasa the see arofo the see ade on the vetting dey postpone no because ya file petition kese editia na the former court na into and 7 so much this year.
Legal Affairs Committee. We're also trying to get a hold of Honorable Dafiamapo to join us in the conversation. But let me start with you, Lawyer J. Bafwewa. What has been your assessment of the vetting process so far?
In my humble view, it can be better. It can be better. And when I say it can be better, it is not, I'm not speaking to the competence of the nominees.
Right.
Or the other conditions they have to satisfy under the Constitution. I'm referring to our own internal arrangement,
right.
the processes and procedure. I think it can be better. Don't forget that we are being assessed by Ghanaians, and the general view of most Ghanaians is that the vetting is more like a rubber stamp. And so we would have to work hard to satisfy Ghanaians who more or less we represent, that indeed we are working.
Right.
And so it can be better. That's all I can say now.
Well, we're glad to have Honorable Roxanne Dafiamapo joining us right now, also on this discussion. Honorable, you're welcome to our desk. What's your own view of the process so far?
Very professional. Indeed, it's an improvement on some of the work that we've done in the past, especially because the minority is spearheaded by the minority leader, have the leeway to ask as many questions as they desire. For instance, as a minority member on the committee, you are entitled to 3 questions. You are also entitled to 3 follow-ups. So substantively, that is 6 questions per person. When it gets to leadership, you are entitled to 5 questions and 5 supplementary to each. It used not to be the case.
You have to meet my best friend. Hey, check out my hair. Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer so you can retouch without breakage. Now your hair looks great. Thank you. This advert is FDA approved.
Now, when it comes to the minority leader, who is a ranking member to the committee, you cannot attest to the fact that he has so much leverage that people actually say that he can ask questions ad infinitum. In fact, he can actually decide that he has had enough for a day and then he will come and continue on the next day. In the past, even the minority leader was limited to time. And I have had the privilege of not being a member but participating in the process. When I joined the committee as a friend, the chairman never gave me opportunity to ask questions. And the records will bear me out. So if my brother says that it can be better, I hope that he would have compared it to what used to be the standard in the past. In any case, we are vetting Supreme Court judges We are vetting nominees to the Supreme Court, judges who are serving on the immediate lower bench, which is the Court of Appeal.
Right.
Now, what is the criteria for being promoted from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court? Essentially, it's about experience and quality. Because if you are not qualified to serve on the Court of Appeal, then certainly you can't be, you don't deserve to be a Superior Court judge. And Superior Court judges are judges who serve from the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. So I really don't know what question you'll be asking a judge who is being promoted to the Supreme Court, who already has served 38 years on the bench, rising from the magistracy level all the way to the Court of Appeal within the last 38 years.
Right.
There are some persons that the previous government, the immediate previous government appointed to the Supreme Court, who spent nearly just 3 years as a Superior Court judge. So this is the distinction. This is the difference. All the men and the women who appeared before us, these six judges out of the 7 nominated, tell me which of them isn't merited to be promoted to the Supreme Court. Just a single one. All of them merit it. And politics aside, this is all we are looking for.
Right. So, Honorable Awa, what will be the benchmark or key qualities that you're looking for if you say that it can be better?
Okay.
Order 4, when you're breaking news, I told you I'm in Ghanatube, just see and you see. Justice Tewia Akabwa for no, on one bet in your postponing, Adentia, you say, ya file petition, case your party tiano. Then, or ye intia file petition, no John Dramani Mahama has selected a yes 7 Supreme Court judge that see any yet to 2 man on no do on no sono, just you postponing on no bet, ya there, yes say, ya file petition, case your party tiano, see an ameno casano. 6 judges push it through on no they are changing the a fresh petition here they are born now. See, I'm submitting in a Ghanatube 4. Mamma, if you send like no subscribe, no share, no notification button, so my send a bear. I bring you a BB drop a content. When you need a pan, I can wait him for aha, and I made in 7 in ABC, our Ghanatube, so for my cramming, I'm